let's look at how to edit an image in Cricut Design Space for the iPad. All of your buttons are going to be on the lower panel. Let's click on the very first one that says image. And I'm just going to select this image. I can tell it's selected because there is a green outline and a green check. And you'll notice in the lower corner, lower right, you'll have a little preview for the image and an insert button. So let's click insert, and now it brought that image onto our canvas. I can hold my finger on that image to activate it and drag it all around with my finger. Also, when you activate an image, you can see 4 icons. The upper left is the big red X that deletes the image. The upper right is the rotate. If you press on that and drag, you can rotate your image kind of freestyle. If you have a specific dimension or degree you want to rotate to, you can go down to the lower panel in edit, and you could say rotate 25 degrees. And boom, it did it. I'm going to put it back to 0 though, just for demonstration purposes. Okay, so now in the lower right, there is a resize. So if I push on that button and drag, it resizes the image. You can see it keeps it very proportional so that as you make it bigger, the width is going to adjust accordingly. The other way to change your width is on the lower panel. It says width and height. So let's say I knew I needed this image to be exactly 3 inches wide. I could do that, and then the height just adjusted to make it proportional. What if you wanted it to be disproportional? I could click on this little padlock and unlock it, and now I could pull it straight down and make it very distorted. And for some images, that might give you a really cool effect. But for others, it makes them look weird. So always look and see if the padlock is locked or unlocked. Other things you can do to edit this image is change the color. Let's look in the lower left corner of our screen, just above the word image. You'll see the word cut and a little circle with color. Let's click on that. This is where we can change the color. So I want to change it to purple. And I'm going to hit apply. And now it's a purple image. Let's press that again. I can change it from a cut image to a drawn image. And let's say I want it drawn with a raspberry pen. So now it shows the outline of the image. This is because the Cricut will follow the same path for cutting and for drawing. It's not a coloring tool. It won't fill in that inner space, but you can have the pen draw that, and then maybe you could color that in. I've done that for some projects. It gives a very nice effect. Then the other choice we can use is score. That gives a dotted line that just shows where the scoring stylus is going to go. This can give you kind of an embossed look. I'm going to go back to cut. And now let's look at some of the other buttons on this lower panel. There's one almost in the middle that says horizontal with little triangles. That flips the image horizontally. So now it's backwards. This might be good for if you're doing things with iron-on vinyl and you always forget to mirror your image. You could mirror your image by flipping the horizontal here. You can also flip the vertical with the next button over. I use this one sometimes if I'm making shaped cards, and I can show you that in another tutorial. The next ones have to do with position. So if you don't want to drag the image around and you just want to change the positioning on the screen, you can use this. And you see when I hit the plus, it's moving it left and right. And the vertical position would move it up and down on the screen. So it's just giving you a couple different ways to edit and play with that image. Once I have this image how I want it, I'm going to click on the layers panel, and that's on your lower bar. And that brings up all the different layers that I have. Now, I'm going to close that one up. If I click on the image, you can see on the layers panel, there's a little preview of the cut, and the background is a little darker. That tells you I have that one selected. The Cricut will only cut what is visible on the screen. So if I click the eyeball to hide this, it won't cut it. The other thing that I had hidden on here is just my little Teach Me Cricut Design Space. So right now, if I hit make it would cut both the love and the Teach Me Cricut Design Space. But since I don't want to cut this is just for preview, I'm going to click the eyeball and hide it. You can also delete down here. So I hope you learned a few new things about using images in Cricut Design Space specifically for the iPad. Make sure you subscribe to me on YouTube for all of my videos.